Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's 1 Million by 1 Million Strategy Roundtable for Entrepreneurs. 1M by 1M, as you know, is the first and only global virtual accelerator in the world for technology startups. Our mission is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million and beyond in annual revenue. In support of that mission, we do these free roundtables almost every week. So this is the 602nd 1M by 1M free public roundtable. And we started doing these in 2008. So it's been a very, very long time that we've been doing this. Probably 300,000 people have used it at this point. So it's a very, very long-standing fixture in the entrepreneurship calendar of the world. The event is being recorded. You will find all our recordings at 1M by 1M Roundtables on YouTube. We are still on Twitter, even though Twitter, God knows what the hell is going on in Twitter. At 1M by 1M and at Stromana are the two handles. Now, if you want to dial in through your computer, that is fine. You can just, turn your audio on. And I'm not only talking about the panelists. If you're in the room and you want to chat, you're welcome to do that. Otherwise, you can also call in and I will put this up later. We are going to start today with Ratan Agrahari from Lucknow, India. Ratan, please unmute your line and let's start working on it. Go ahead.
Yeah, so hello everyone. My name is Ratan Agrahari. I have an engineering degree in electronics and communication engineering. I have a 7 year of experience across globe. So I started this company RAVC Solutions Private Limited, which is a solar solution provider company, which caters residential rooftop, commercial, industrial rooftop, as well as utility scale.
Okay.
Yeah, next slide, please. So at RAVC, we offer such a solar solution where residential owners can save their electricity bill by adopting solar up to 80%, as well as we also provide financing options as well to our customers so that they don't have to rush for their finances because it's a pretty expensive system. So we cater no cost EMI, on cost EMI that is collateral free. Yeah.
Okay.
We started our company back in 2021 May. From it was just after COVID, and it was a really hard time, but we still did a pretty well in our first year. 2022, we started our utility scale project for the ground mounted. This is our journey so far. Next
And
slide.
what kind of numbers? I mean, you probably have that later in the slides, yeah?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Keep going. Keep going.
So in the very first year, we did, I will say in INR, the revenue. So we did 2.5 CR in our very first year. Second year, we did 12.08 CR. And this year, we are expecting to do 60 CR business. Out of 60 CR, we already have in hand orders of more than 42 CR. We have work orders. Either we have completed the project or projects are going on or about to start in next 2 weeks. We are also into discussion to get more business, but we are expecting to do at least 60 CR by this financial year.
Okay, let's do the business model so I understand what that means.
Yeah, so as I told, we cater in 3 segments. First segment is rooftop. Second segment is EPC, which is utility scale, and third segment is a annual maintenance contract and consultation. So rooftop is mainly for the residential people or small scale business owners, and utility scales for the solar power plant where the megawatt 100, 200 into multiple of tens megawatt power plants is being installed across India, and those electricity is being sold to the government. So we do take care of their engineering, procurement, and construction of those solar power plant. That is the biggest contributor in our revenue.
I have one question in what you just said. So the actual solar hardware, the units,
yes,
the panels,
yes,
is that in your revenue?
We don't manufacture solar panel. We purchase them based on the client's
Understood,
requirement.
understood. But the revenue, let's say a 60 crore revenue, includes actually selling the solar hardware, even
Yes.
if you're not manufacturing, but you are
Yes.
selling
Yes.
those.
So
Okay.
we do take care of procurement.
So now, what is the percentage distribution of your revenue in your business model? Like, what percentage is this, the solar panels? What percentage is, let's say, AMC, annual maintenance contracts, consulting, etc.? What else? What
Okay.
is,
So,
installation
okay,
charges?
if I bifurcate EPC, where engineering is like 5% of the project, so
Mm-hmm.
it takes 5% of the cost. 60 to 70% cost goes for the hardware, which includes solar panels, inverters, structure.
Mm-hmm.
5 to 7% cost goes for the land, and rest 20% goes for the services, which requires like civil work, labors, like all those service related work.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is your gross margin on
Gross
the
margin.
hardware?
Hardware, we gross margin is like sometimes 3%, 4%, 5%.
It's a
But it
very
is,
low margin. That part of the business is very low margin. So
yes.
the bulk of your business is very low margin. The services is high margin.
Yes. So the part of the business which is like low margin, the rotation of the amount within 10 to 15 days, and the amount is pretty huge. For example, 1 megawatt development cost is 3.5 CR. Out of that, 2.5 CR goes for the hardware, and
Right.
that is being done within 10 to 15 days. So we rotate 2 crore rupees with 3% margin in 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
So if you accumulate this whole thing, this is the most profitable thing. We keep rotating our money, adding 3% every 15, 30th day. And if we rotate, we are able to rotate 6 to 7 times the same money, we will be able to generate 20 to 25% of the profit.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So
Go ahead.
this is the current market size as expected for the 2030. Though total market size for the solar itself is $238 billion, out of which $38 billion is already catered, but still more than $200 billion market is still open.
And when you say solar market, are you talking about the hardware? Are you talking about the hardware software services? Are you talking about
Uh,
maintenance? What does that
it
entail?
includes everything.
Everything. Okay. Got
Yes,
it.
it's but the if why I'm mentioning solar here, because it's not renewable energy market. Renewable energy
Oh,
market is
understood.
even
Yeah,
bigger.
bigger.
Yeah,
Right.
so this is the only solar contribution. So this
And
is also
where is your business right now? Is it all in Lucknow or is it pan India? What's the
so
distribution
our
geographically?
corporate office is in Lucknow,
Hmm.
and our operations is pan India. We are providing our services across India.
And where are the clients? Current clients are mostly in Lucknow or elsewhere?
No. So our current clients are like my main client is Adani, Nagaland government, Dalmia, KPI group of companies, Satvik. So we are developing for Adani's project at multiple locations, Gujarat, UP, Karnataka.
Mm-hmm.
We are developing two power plant for KPI group of companies in Gujarat.
Mm-hmm.
We are gonna develop another 10 megawatt power plant for another group of company, Rini Energy, in MP. We are developing one solar power plant, 4.5 megawatt for Dalmia group of companies for the cement factory. And we
Okay.
have also catered Nagaland government as a consultant for their very first solar project in Nagaland. That
All
is 5
right.
megawatt.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're really working pan India.
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
So this
Okay.
is, yeah, so this is our target sectors. So we are complete in the residential rooftop system. We are mainly focusing in Uttar Pradesh. This that is my home state, because the market itself is more than 5 gigawatt, and out of that, a fraction is just being taken care. The whole market is open now. Government is revising the policies. They are giving more and more subsidies to the house owners so that they can get, they use solar as much as they can.
Mm-hmm.
For commercials,
And when you say house,
yes.
is it individual homes or are we talking about apartment buildings and how does that all work?
Yes. So in the societies, for example, multi-story buildings, so they go for a group captive, which is a little bit difficult nowadays because the policies are not framed in such a way where every flat owner can own a solar system. Because
Right.
to install a solar system, they need at least 500 square feet of space.
Yeah.
So they are coming up with there are several societies which are coming with a group of people ki, okay, we want to adopt a solar plant, and they are
Yeah.
like as a group they install solar panels and they just take the connections individual out of that. We have a
Okay.
net smart meter, so it calculates which house, which home utilizes how much of the solar units, and based on that their contribution will be.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So this is one thing which is like completely untouched, like not even a fraction is being taken care. The individual independent houses are something which is now coming more and more aggressively to adopt. Their biggest challenge was to quality services because this home residential solar market was completely unorganized. Either there
Mm-hmm.
were big players like Tata, Solar Square, and other players, but their services is not all across. So what we are doing, and second problem was the finance, because if you want to go for a solar system for your own home, it will cost between 3 to 5 lakh rupees in between. So
Mm-hmm.
for a salaried person or for any common people, it is a difficult to invest single time 3 to 5 lakh rupees in a solar system because the revenue which he's gonna generate out of that is a little bit. So break even point is 4 to 5 years. So what we are offering zero cost EMI up to 2 years to residential owners based on their civil scores and everything. And if they want to go for even more years, for example, they want to, I don't want to pay any money from my pocket, whatever I will save my electricity, I will
Yep.
pay that as EMI. So we go for as a interest from 6 to 12% interest rate, depends on the client and everything. So we provide this loan services to residential people.
And the loan service is in partnership with a bank.
Yes, NFBCs, we have some NFBCs, we have some private lenders and some national banks.
And my observation in all this is that, you know, the people who have actually very good salaried people who have very good income and can easily finance a 3 to 5 lakh, you know, purchase live in those apartment complexes in
Right.
Bangalore and Delhi and, you know, NCR and Mumbai and so on. So I think if you can crack that market,
Yes.
if and figure
So
out it is more complicated, but if you can crack that
that
market, that
that
is where the
that's
gold mine
absolutely
is in
correct.
some
That's
ways.
absolutely correct. So government framed such policies, group captive policy. The only problem which they are facing is their society committees. They are not like willing to lend those lands to develop either out of, for example, if I take a society where 100 families lives,
Right.
right, out of that maybe 30%, 20%, 40% are willing to adopt solar.
Mm-hmm.
So with the financial point of view, because if we are setting the power plant a little bit far, then transmission cost and everything is more expensive. So
Mm-hmm.
we are in talk with several developers how we can uh, make their.
New construction, you can build it into the construction. Yes.
Yes, at construction phase itself, where they are making their parking space separately, how we can utilize their roof. And then one challenge I come across with this, ki if that parking roof can be utilized for some community event, for example, anyone want to have some kitty party or something. So we are also coming up with some very innovative thing, solar corner. We are renaming it as a solar corner. So we will uh, give a shed of solar, but interior will be like you will never come to know ki on top of that there are solar panels.
Right.
It will be
Right.
completely renovated interior
Yeah.
as per the requirement and building theme.
Yeah.
And we are
But
using
so
all
from
those
if
recycled
this is
PVC.
happening on the roofs
Yes.
of built apartment complexes, retrofitting is not that complicated either.
Sorry, ma'am, please pardon.
You know, retrofitting
Mhm.
an existing apartment building is not that complicated
It's
either.
not complicated, ma'am. The only problem was they are not coming. It's a group captive project. If they
Yeah,
are coming with,
the problem is that the group dynamic of some
Yes,
people want to do it, some people don't want to do it.
exactly.
Whereas if it's new construction, then the developer has full rights over
Absolutely.
what happens, and the developer builds that into the pitch and
Right.
everything. So
Absolutely.
so
And
new
nowadays,
construction is good. Yeah,
yes.
very good.
And nowadays, even the authorities, the clearing bodies who is giving the clearance, they are giving a clear instruction to the developers itself that you have to adopt solar.
Yeah, and they have incentives for developers. I know
Yes.
this. The green
Yes.
building incentives and all of
Yes.
that
That's
stuff is
yes.
already there. Yeah.
Yes.
So new construction is definitely the lower hanging fruit.
Right. Right. It's lower hanging fruit.
Have you started talking to real estate developers?
Yes, we are in talk with Loda group of companies. It's a Mumbai-based developer. So we will execute one pilot project in Ayodhya.
Okay.
They are developing one resort here, resort come a residential apartment. So we are in initial talk with Lodha Group. We
I
are
see.
in talk with their CEO, Mr. Tikam Chand Jan, to execute this as a pilot project.
Okay.
Because
I'm
government is
very well connected in the developer market in Calcutta.
oh,
My
that
family
is really helpful.
knows everybody, so
Even Kolkata is like putting a lot of efforts to adopt renewable energy nowadays.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yes. And this is our financial projection, which I explained in the very first year. What are the revenue, net profit?
So your forecast for March 2024 is the 60, what is it? I can't read this. How much?
This is our 60
66?
crores, yes.
66 crores.
Crores, yes. This is the project orders which we are already in talk.
You
I'm
already
not
have
talking
that.
any. Yes, it's like either they are signed or we are. So we still have 2 more quarters to develop new businesses. So this number can go even more higher, but I'm just going on those numbers which I have in hand.
Okay.
Yeah,
And the 24-25 number is 200 crores and
that
the
is minimum.
margin is
That is minimum I'm
26,
gonna do.
28, yeah?
That is minimum I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yes.
Cool.
So this is our capacity at the very first year at EPC engineering procurement. I did 0 kilowatt.
Mm-hmm.
Second year we did 1.2 megawatt. This year we are doing 8 megawatt, and we are expecting to do this next year 50 megawatt.
Okay.
With BOS, previous slide please.
Sorry.
I'll just explain this one more thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the dark line says the sometime clients they don't give money to procurement. They just supply the major supply chunk they do and they give us the services. So we have done from the first year at 65 megawatt. Next year we are gonna targeting this 200 megawatt.
Okay.
Yeah. Next slide, please. So this is the competitive advantage which we have from our competitors. So safety is one of the most prominent thing in this segment, which most of the vendors neglect because it contribute a little bit cost. You have to appoint a certified safety officer.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the most important thing in any power plant because sometimes you develop a power plant and you charge it, but if it is not properly scrutinized, then it may burn.
Mm-hmm.
This is we ensure we have a standard operating process. We have a zero negligence on that.
Yeah.
Before we
Yeah.
charge, we ensure each and every junction is checked
Mm-hmm.
and it is well connected until unless we don't charge.
Okay.
We
So you're
also,
positioning on the safety point.
yes. And second point is we never compromise on our quality. Never. The quality because it's once the power plant is developed, the expected life is 25 years. But we are guaranteeing it will last at least 35 years because we never compromise. We do proper soil test at multiple locations. Usually these pre-engineering things, vendors, they don't perform well. We ensure each and every segment is well taken care, well tested, especially soil strength.
Mm-hmm.
So we
Okay.
never and we always go with all those approved cements to develop the structure to construct the structures. This is some of our projects which we have executed. 192 kilowatt rooftop over the some petrol pumps, some residential.
Mm-hmm.
Next slide, please. This is our utility scale project, which we have MCR work for Adani, piling work where we mounted these structures matrix solars, we are doing operations, maintenance of that. First industrial solar rooftop, which I mentioned for the Nagaland government, which we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
This is our some of our key clients:
Wow.
Maharaja, Adani, Siemens, Bharat Petroleum, Dalmia, Indian Oil.
Very good.
These are some recognitions which we got in this span of time. We are top 10 solar startups in India.
Excellent.
Yes, and this is our core team. Ramanuj Verma, founding director. He's our CEO. Myself, Ratan Agrahari, I'm COO. Mr. Radha Mohanji, he's project head. He takes care all utility level project. Mr. Alok Shukla, he takes care all the government projects, tendering and everything. He also take care of the planning of the new projects. Vikas Burma, he is heading currently our rooftop segment, and Mr. Bharat, he take care of all our financials.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What brings you here?
Uh, to learn and what are the feedbacks on my slides and how I can go further if
And
I can.
what are your goals? You seem to be doing very well, and you've figured out a lot of the customer acquisition strategies. I mean, clients like Adani can take you very far. I mean, you're going to do a lot of work with Adani, just Adani, you're going to do a lot of work with. And then you have Dalmia, you have all these other groups. So this is all great. As I mentioned, I think the real estate developer market, where in new construction projects, you have a very, very strong case. And I think they are looking for the expertise. And, this is one area where I'm very familiar with it, because we have, real estate in Calcutta, and we work with the developers here and so on and so forth. So,
Hello, Sarmana. I'm
because you're not hearing me. Am I? You can't hear me?
actually I'm getting some disturbance. Yeah, there is some
In and
network
out,
issue, I
yeah.
feel.
See, there's network issue. There's
Yeah,
definitely a network issue. Can you hear me now?
yeah, now much better.
Okay. What I was saying is, I think your new construction developer market, developers working with developers on new construction, this is a very promising business, because
Right.
Indian government has a big thrust on green energy. There are a lot of incentives the developers are trying to take. They give, this term FAR.
Right.
Developers work on how much FAR they can get on the basis of a plot of land. They give more FAR if it's a green building.
Right.
So there's, very direct incentive in new construction projects. So all you need to do is, build those relationships with good, big developers in different geography, different locations, and that's all very, very well structured already. So I think it's a very good business. I think what you're doing is great. So you have good expertise, you have credibility, and etc.
I would add one more point. What I'm gonna do in next year, I'm gonna develop our own power plants. Currently, we are developing for someone else like Adani, Dalmia, and all. Now we are stepping into develop our own power plant. So for this, I am expecting fundings because it's a high ticket size power plant. So
this is where I would say go slow on that. That's a different business. Running a power plant is a very different business.
Right, ma'am.
That is a very, very high investment game. It's extremely capital intensive.
Right.
And that is not a business you know how to do.
Our team is experienced to that only.
In running power plants?
Yes. We have my team has total experience to run power plant of 2 gigawatt plus.
And tell me who has run a power plant before on your team?
So actually due to because their associations are still with those companies, so that's why I could not mention their names here. So we have like my advisors and everyone from Sterling Wilson, Adani, Axis Energy, Siemens, and we are gonna investment is, of course, it's very huge.
It's very big. That's what I'm saying,
Yes. So
that kind of investment, I like your business. I think your business, as you can see, it's rolling really quickly. And you told me yourself that you know how to roll the money. In 10 to 15 days, you're getting a 3% lift on the cash, and you know how to turn that money and increase that money by just kind of doing multiple rounds of inventory financing, essentially, on your own, from your own profit. So
The power plant segment which I'm gonna target is government's special scheme. It's not very huge size power plants. So government is coming up. If you can go back 3 slides, I'll just need your attention on that. One more. One more, please. 2 more, please. Yeah. So this is IPP Kusum Yojana. So IPP Kusum Yojana is an independent power producer in which government gives a subsidy of 30 to 35%, and government also ensures you get loan of 70%. So your initial investment will be 30% of the project cost, but within 6 to 12 months, you will get back 35% of your investment. So,
and what is the cost of a small power plant project? How much money do you need?
So for example, if I take a 1 megawatt, a small minimum size, so cost will be 3.5 CR to 4 CR.
Okay. Still manageable.
Yeah. And my initial investment would be 1 CR to 1.5 CR. And later, once I get the PPA, power purchase agreement, because this power will be sold to the government only. So I will get a 25-year purchase agreement with the government.
Yeah.
Now, I need only 45 to 60 days to develop this power plant. I have identified more than 200 acres of land at different locations for particular this project, where I'm going to develop 1.2 to 2.5 megawatt power plants.
I got it.
Yeah, within 60 days, I will develop a power plant, and next 90 days, I have to show the data to the government that this is the particular performance ratio which I'm maintaining at my power plant. Once I have submitted the 3rd month data, next month I will get back a central government subsidy of 1.05 CR plus a state government subsidy of 50 lakh. So my input cost was 1 to 1.5 CR, and subsidy I'm getting 1.5 CR.
So this, by the way, given where your balance sheet is and P&L is right now, and where it's going, and you have evidence that is going there, you will be able to raise that financing from banks.
Banks are gonna give the 70% of the cost, but we are in talk with the AU bank. We already got their term sheet. So their terms is like, first you will spend your 30% of the share, then we will start putting our money. That term sheet I already got from the banks.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was a member in the program, 1MDF is the company, Nitin Khandelwal.
Okay.
He has his fintech business of connecting small businesses with banks for financing their businesses. So you can look it up, 1MDF, and just kind of, if you need help with that, that's something that's very easy.
Sure, I'll definitely look it up.
Anyway, so I like your business. I think you're doing a great job with execution. You have lots of domain knowledge, which is this business is the make or break of this business is your domain knowledge, and you have excellent domain knowledge. So
thank you.
Keep going. I
so
think you're doing great.
Thank you so much, Ramana.
You're welcome.
Any other inputs?
Let me work with Darlington, and I will.
Sure. I'll mute myself
and talk more after I finish with Darlington. Darlington, could you please unmute your line and let's get going? From Lagos, Nigeria.
Everyone, good afternoon. My name is Darlington. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Aladdin. How are you doing? Nice to meet you, Smaina.
Nice to meet you as well, Aladdin. Go ahead.
So, Aladdin started in 2021 as a digital bank for Africa. So actually, Africa is hugely powered by small businesses and freelancers and gig workers. Before the pandemic, majority of these guys were offline. I mean, they were doing transactions through brick and mortar. But the pandemic and the lockdowns worldwide forced a lot of African businesses, gig workers, to begin to sell their products on WhatsApp, on Facebook, on Instagram, and all kinds of stuff. So we figured out, I have about 14 years banking experience. So I discovered that banking, the way it is designed, will not help these small businesses and will not help these gig workers.
Okay.
Connection with the bank itself. So we came up with the idea of social commerce banking. So Aladdin is the first social commerce banking in Africa. So what that means is that we have one single app that has both banking services and at the same time both e-commerce, social community in one app. All right. So that was the vision that we had for Aladdin. So creating one single app that handles your payments, all right, and handles e-commerce. You can buy and sell products among yourself as users of the same app. And you can also communicate and connect and network among yourself in the same app. So we designed a social commerce banking infrastructure. That was in 2021. We ran that for 2 years, all right, in Nigeria, our host country. And then eventually we decided to actually expand to across Africa. So that gave birth to the global Aladdin app. So last year, 2022, late last year, we decided to pivot into being a global payment infrastructure and not just a digital bank for Nigeria. So that's what I am here to share with us on our journey towards providing a global payment platform for Africa and not just the Nigerian market. So let's go to the next slide, if you don't mind. So if you look at the African system, payment in Africa is broken. It's quite easier to send money to America or United States and to London than to send money to fellow African countries. But most Africans in Nigeria, for example, don't even know how to send money to Ghana. And Ghana is a neighboring country. They don't even know how to send money to Chad or Niger or Cameroon because it's quite expensive and the payment rails are quite fragmented and broken. And for example, the average cost of sending money to other African countries is about 15%, but it goes up to almost 36% for between some corridors. For example, between Tanzania and Uganda, you can be charged as high as 36% to send money between Tanzania and Uganda. So it's quite expensive. These have hindered trade transactions within Africa because the payment rails are usually telco based. So the telco companies like Orange, MTN, Airtel are the ones who are actually powering, cross-border payments using their mobile wallet infrastructure. All right. The fintechs have not been able to do much. The banking system has been fragmented. They are not concerted. They are not connected, and so on and so forth. So that's a very huge tax that we have. So we figured that Africa has a lot of problems, but payment should not be one of them. If you look at the total inflow into Africa last year, both FDI and remittance was about $144 billion, all right? And the outflow from Africa was about $25 billion. But you can see that only $6 billion was circulating within Africa last year. That is less than 10% of the funds that came into Africa because sending money within Africa is quite expensive. And if you look at the slides in front of you, we're looking at the 6 major corridors where transactions happen within Africa. So all these things put together made us to realize that we need to look beyond just one country, which is Nigeria, and see how do we provide a solution that makes it very easy for me to send money from Nigeria to Kenya in 5 minutes, or to send money from Nigeria to Rwanda in 5 minutes. How do we make that happen? How do we crash the price from the average 15% to around 3% or 4%? So making it easy for people to do business within Africa. Every single member state of Africa has a competitive advantage. They have a raw material, they have something they can offer other African states, but payments, logistics, and all are all hampering that inter-African trade. And that's what we're trying to, to solve in using a fintech solution called Aladdin. So go to the next slide if you don't mind. Excuse me. So, like I said earlier, 99 problems, Pan-African payments should not be one of them. So that's our motto. We feel that we should help Africa solve one of the problems. There are a lot of problems, policy problems, wars, fightings, coup d'etat. So many things are going on in Africa, but at least let us solve one problem for Africa, which is payments. And how do we want to achieve this?
I have to say, Darlington, you've done a very, very good job of identifying very precisely a problem. So your positioning in what you've described so far is really great. I've seen lots of pitches. The way you just explained what you're doing and why you're doing what you're doing is excellent.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, okay, like I said, the opportunities in Africa is wide, and from the policy perspective, 68% of countries in Africa do not require a formal license to do remittance business. So that is a huge opportunity that remittance companies can actually tap into in terms of doing remittance in Africa. So you're talking about over 32 African countries that depend remittance because they depend solely on FDI and remittance to survive. So they actually reduce the policies around remittance to allow inflows into the country. So that gives us fintechs opportunity to build rails or payment rails and make those payment rails functional across some of those 32 African countries. The next slide, if you don't mind. So what is our solution? Our solution is called Aladdin. You know, Aladdin is known for the Arab thief. That we all know the story, we all know the cartoon, where we have the genie who makes your wishes come through. So that's what we're trying to do. So we're trying to make the payment wishes of Africans come true by providing them with a global payment solution. And this solution is multifaceted. So we're providing a solution for both individuals and for businesses. So our target market is quite vast. So you can be an individual or you can be a business across Africa. So we are the first or one of the few fintechs that allow onboarding, a global onboarding on our app. And so we are partnered with a YC-backed startup called Doja. They have integrated to over 1,100 government databases around the world. So that gives us the opportunity for us to onboard you and do proper KYC or KYB for your business. So if you're an individual, we can validate your government ID card straight from the government database. If you're in the United States or maybe you're in diaspora, you're an African in diaspora in the US, in Britain, for example, you have a social security number. We can validate SSN right here from our app and through our integrations with government databases around the United States. So what we're trying to do is to make African freelancers to be local and at the same time global. So when we can bring people, both the diasporans and the Africans together on one app, then we can make transactions easy, all right, on that same app. So even as a business, we can validate your shareholders, we can validate also your directors through our integrations with government databases. So that allows us to onboard you, not just as an individual, but as a proper business. So, and I'm going to show you the solutions we have both for individuals and the solutions we have for business. But generally speaking, these are the three areas where Aladdin functions. One is global payments and accounts. So we have a multi-currency individual and business wallet system. So which means once you come on Aladdin and you are validated, you can select from 50 currencies, which are the currencies that you want to prefer to operate with. So if you're a Kenyan, you may prefer to operate with Kenyan shillings, USD, pound, and euro. Or if you're a Nigerian, you may prefer to activate the Nigerian wallet. If you're a Ghanaian, you can activate the Ghana Cedis wallet. So we allow you to activate the currencies that you want to play with on the platform. And then from there, you can actually do collections and payouts. So you can collect money in your own preferred local currency, or you can make payouts to other people in their preferred local currency. This is fundamental to creating a Pan-African business solution where people can be settled in their own preferred local currency, all right? And then we can facilitate payment to mobile wallets, and then we can facilitate payment to bank accounts within Africa and also outside Africa. So other things that we do things like remittance, cross-border collections and payment, local and international bill payment, to over 33,000 billers on the platform. We have a multi-currency payment link. So for example, you want to receive payments, you can send a link, and this link has different currencies attached to it, like a multi-currency payment link. So for example, people can pay you in dollars, they can pay you in Kenyan shillings and stuff like that. Majority of the payment links you see in the payment space are usually monocurrency. So I want to collect probably in just Naira, all right? But we're giving you the capability to create a payment link that allows people to do donations to you, make payments to you, or collections to you in multi-currency mode, all right, and so on and so forth. So like I said, another thing that we have is the marketplace. Aladdin, like I said, is the pioneer of social commerce banking. So that is in our DNA. So once you come into Aladdin, you have a profile page. So it's a banking system that allows you to have your own profile page where you can upload your product, you can advertise your services. People can come to your bio page, just like you have a bio page on Instagram, and we can see, unlike just seeing your photos, we are seeing your products with the prices and stuff, and people can actually connect with you and buy from you. To make trade possible, we've developed an escrow system. So that escrow system protects the buyer and the seller in a transaction, all right? So that before you get paid, the goods are delivered in good condition, and then the person is happy to release the funds from the escrow account to your own wallet. So we've designed that, we've built that since 2021. So it's part of our DNA to provide escrow services for our customers. But what we're trying to do now is we have expanded our escrow system to become a multi-currency escrow system.
Darlington?
Yeah.
You've been talking about a lot of different functionality. What of the business? Is it a concept stage business, or are you already doing work? Are transactions already happening on this app? What's happening? What's the situation?
Like I said, in the last, we started in January 2021. We have over 250,000 downloads, over 160,000 customers. So, I mean, transactions are already happening. But like I said earlier, we started as a digital bank focused on the Nigerian market. So we have done, we are doing, as I speak to you, that transactions, you can check the app out on Play Store, Apple Store. Aladdin is there. People are doing transactions. But I am saying that the reason why we came here is because we are now about to launch a global app. So the app we have today is for the Nigerian market, all right, which is a Naira-based transaction. But what we've built now, while we're actually trying to raise funds, is because we're about to launch our global app. We've been working on it for the past 7 to 8 months. All right, we've been doing all the integrations and stuff for this global app, which is the Pan-African app. That's why I started by saying we started as a digital bank for Nigerian market, but now we are about to launch our Aladdin global app, and these are some of the features that we have on the app already. I don't know if that answers your question, but transactions are going on right now. There are other things like marketplace is happening. Transactions in Naira is going on. We have a virtual dollar card. People are transacting. We've been giving loans to customers. We've done over $500,000 in loans to our customers.
But you don't have, at the moment, cross-border transactions are not happening in the Pan-African market.
Yeah, the only transactions that are happening now are USD transactions using our Visa card. So you can use our Visa card for transactions across the border.
So most of this is kind of concept stage. You have a bit of transaction business going on right now, but the real cross-border payments business that you're talking about is not happening yet. Do you have the system built, or?
Yeah, we have the system built. I will have logged in. I will have just shown you, share my screen and show you that one. But since you are the one sharing, I'll show you the web system. So the system is built, all right? But like I said, we are about to launch it fully in the market because it takes a while to launch. So what the figures you are seeing here are figures that have happened in our original app. Our app have been around for 2.5 years. So we've been doing transactions. These are the transactions we've been doing so far in the Nigerian market, all right? Like I said, we're about to now launch this in the cross-border space. So we're an existing business. We've raised $800,000 already. From the reason why we're in the market now is that we're rallying because we're moving into the cross-border space. So we're not talking about our existing business, but we're talking about what we're about to launch by end of this month or so. So that's what I'm saying. So that's why we're in the market at the moment for now.
So we've raised money. You will be launching the cross-border business soon. With or without new investment, you with your current structure, you are ready to launch the cross-border business.
And we're about to move into the market. So like I said, if we look at our journey, this is Nigerian market. So we're about to move into the Pan-African space. Right?
Okay. That's very important. The reason I'm pushing this point is that this is a kind of like a pivot that is happening. You're moving from your Nigeria only as different business to this, payment business that is a cross-border payment business.
Exactly.
And having a business in the market where transactions are already happening creates a huge momentum and huge interest in investors that you would never get if it's a concept stage business.
I know, yeah. So, but like I said, the fact that we have been able to execute for the last 2.5 years, all right, we've built, we're not looking for product market fit. We already have product market fit. We have a customer base who are desirous to do cross-border payments. Some of the reasons why we're moving in this space are our current customer base are trying to do transactions outside Nigeria, all right? There'll be a lot of demand to say, can I send money to Ghana? Can I send money to South Africa? Can I send money to the US? So you already have demand.
I think the big advantage that you have is that you have a Nigerian customer base, right? You just showed me a slide with your numbers.
Exactly.
Okay, you have $104 million worth of transactions.
Yeah.
How many users? 165,457 users. So if you can just get your new cross-border app in the hands of these people, and if they start transacting in the Pan-African transfer market, you will have everything kind of rolling really quickly. And that's going to be invaluable in piquing in investor interests.
Exactly. So we're not starting from scratch. We're starting from,
You're not starting from scratch. That's right. You have users in your app, and you can basically feed this feature into those users, and you should be able to move transactions rolling right away. That's great. That's fantastic. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I understand.
Okay, I
You
mean,
want
so I think that summarizes our peak. Just unless you want me to talk about some of the features. So if you go back to some slide, let's go back to some of the features, like the business slide, if you don't mind. I want to talk about the business slide a little bit. Just go back a little bit. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the business account proposition. So we are going to be the first fintech to build what they call a Pan-African business account. I'll explain why. Some of our competitors who are already doing remittance business, we have the likes of Eversend, we have Cheaper Cash, Yellow Card, Lemfi, a couple of them who are in this space while they're trying to do remittance into Africa. They are focused mainly on individual customers, all right? Individual KYC. Nobody has thought about how do we build a business for actual businesses who are either starting or registered in Africa, and then connecting these businesses together. If I'm a business in Nairobi, I want to do business with somebody in Nigeria, I should be able to receive my payment to my business account or my business wallet and make payments, and I should be able to get paid into my business account. I don't want to get paid into my personal account. All right, I'm a business, I'm a school, I'm a bank, whatever it is. So we are the first fintech trying to build a Pan-African business account, an end-to-end service, providing them not just for payments, but we're giving them the ability to do things like vendor management. So you can pay vendors across borders. So if you have a vendor, not just in your local current country, you can pay vendors in Nigeria. If you're in Nairobi or in Ghana, you can pay vendors, and you can even pay your staff. So you can actually do pay what they call, if you have, for today now, remote work has come to stay after the pandemic. I mean, most of my colleagues or my staff in Aladdin, we have about 40 people working in Aladdin. Everybody is 100% remote. Everybody's working from home or working from office. So I have people that are working for Aladdin, and they're in Canada. So the same thing happens today where you have people who have remote staff in other parts of the world. All right, how do you pay them? So we're building the system that allows you to create, to upload all your employees, their payment details, their bank details in different currencies, and you can pay them with a click of a button. All right. So Africa is going to become, these businesses are going to be empowered to become both local and global on our platform. So you can do global stuff while you can also do local stuff on the system. So multi-currency collections, multi-currency payout system, ability to swap currencies. All right. I want to swap from dollar to pounds. I have some money in my dollar wallet. I need the money in my local currency. I can do that also a business account system. So that is why we're saying we are quite different from other players in this space who are focused more on just building accounts, building system for the individual. And finally, yeah. Okay.
Okay. So let's, I understand that you are kind of very close to launching the new product, and you have existing users, a very substantial number of existing users, so that you can get into the market really quickly, not starting from scratch. And you want to raise more money. Is that where you are right now? Yeah,
that's where we are right now, exactly. So if you go to our slide, our funding slide, our pre-seed round has been $1.2 million. We've raised about $850,000 of that. Just keep going. The next slide. Just keep going.
Yeah, no, just a second before you tell me what is this? This is your revenue projection?
Yeah, this is our sort of more like our big picture slide. I mean, in terms of the volume of revenue that we're going to get in the next 5 years. So for us, this is where we are going to, in terms of we want to control 20% of inflows, outflows, and cross-border payments in the next 5 years. All right. So this is the vision that we have in terms of our big picture. I mean, what do we want to achieve with Aladdin? So in terms of inflow, outflow, cross-border payments, we want to control 20%.
So you're talking about $10 trillion worth of payments?
$10 trillion. No, that's not possible. You can't do $10 trillion. You're talking about that should be around $10 billion in terms of volume of transaction. I'll explain why. I told you that last year.
This slide is confusing because you have your x-axis is in millions, right? Okay. Sorry, your y-axis is in millions.
Yeah, I have to fix that. So this is at 10 billion. So this 10 billion is like.
Slide is not correct. It confused me. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's gone. Thank you for that. I have to remove that million. Okay, I don't know if I should talk about the team. Okay, myself, I have over 14 years banking experience, and my CFO, Mr. Nasiru Olayemi, has over 20 years chartered accountant experience. We actually work together in OPay. So my last job as one of the founding directors of OPay. OPay is a $2 billion unicorn in Nigeria. All right. I was one of the founding directors and worked in a couple of banks, and also the founding director of MD of Okash. Okash is a sister company of OPay that does micro lending. Today they have over 5,000 employees. They've done over $500,000 in loans and stuff like that. $500 million, in loans. Olayemi has 20 years experience in banking and accounting. My CTO is a young chap called David. We have over 27 men who are in our dev team who are actually building this big, complex global payment infrastructure. So we have to increase our dev team to 27 people because the integrations are numerous and trying to make it as seamless as possible. My CTO is Mr. Patrick, has over 10 years cross-vertical experience in different fields also. So the next slide talks about, I was talking about our raise, what we've done. For our pre-seed round, we've done $1.2 million pre-seed, and we've raised $850,000 so far. So we're left with about $350K to close our pre-seed round. That will help us get the launch off the ground before we go for our seed round early next year. So we plan to move into our seed round early next year. By January, we'll be 3 years old, and we want to move into our seed round from January, February next year. But now, before the end of the year, as we're launching end of the month, we just need to raise the $350,000 to get us off this initial launch for the pivot. And we have people like Plug and Play as our investors. We have Hatcher. We've raised some funds on WeFunder crowdfunding because we're a US entity. Our HQ is in US in Delaware. We're also registered in the UK, but our focus is Africa. So we're able to get SEC approval to raise crowdfunding on WeFunder. Right now, we also have a WeFunder campaign going on to raise about $600,000 on WeFunder. And we've had other investors, angels investors, on the platform. And so on and so forth. So the balance for the pre-seed round at $9 million post-money valuation is about $350,000. And that's what we're trying to close up before we move into our seed round next year.
All right. Okay. Well, I think this is a very interesting business, and I really like how sharply you have positioned this, and the fact that you can get into the market really quickly with your existing audience. I think it's a very big opportunity. But as you can see, there is competition, and how you're going to play with competition is going to be important. So yeah, I think you're doing a very good job, and I think it's a very interesting business. So let me move on to the next presenter, and then you can ask me more questions at the end of the session.
All right.
Let me get through this next discussion. You're welcome. You're very welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, Raju Kurup has problems with English. I saw him just now, right? He was just here, right? Okay, well, I think he got scared. So let me just run through his Samruddhi Financial Inclusion, Women Empowerment, Microloans. Okay. So he wants to provide financing solutions for microloans, etc., etc. Okay, well, if he's not here, then I can't do anything. Now, if you are interested in 1 million by 1 million, for all of you, I'll just quickly take you through how to use 1 million by 1 million, if that's something that you want to do. And my ask is that you spread the word. You know, you're getting this free roundtables every week. Spread the word so that serious entrepreneurs come and use this resource. Now, everything from us is available at 1Mby1M.com. There is a blog series that is free, that is very rich and very enriching. There's also the Entrepreneur Journeys book series. There are actually 12 books of about 12 to 16 case studies each. So it's a case study based set of books. It's a good learning opportunity. That same case study format learning is what we use throughout the program. So it's very important in our program to be aware of the case study based learning methodology that we're using. These free roundtables happen, almost every week. So you can pitch once for free, but if you want ongoing interaction, you need to join the premium program, the 1M by1M premium program. We charge $1,000 annual membership fee for that, but that's where we do the ongoing week by week interactive session discussions, strategic planning, coaching, mentoring, whatever you call it. We provide you with extensive methodology guidance, We have a terrific curriculum that is entirely case study based, and it's like over 4,000 hours worth of curriculum, but it's organized very well. So you can zero in on the topic that you are dealing with and where you need help, etc. And then we help with business development, we help with strategy consulting, we help with financing as well. We work with hundreds of investors. We are not an investor ourselves. We work with hundreds of investors, and we help you figure out the investor entrepreneur fit to raise the money that you're trying to raise. The 1M self-assessment is a good tool that is on our website, available for free. It is questions that VCs ask in due diligence, and I strongly recommend you use that tool. We have a free bootstrapping course on our blog. It's less than 1 hour, and I strongly recommend you do this course. It's very, very powerful, and it's an important, understanding to have of the power of bootstrapping. We also have about 75 Udemy courses based on our methodology that you can learn from. We offer coupons to those courses. You're very welcome to start learning there. That's fine too. It's very inexpensive. Our entire curriculum is also available on a curriculum-only mode that is 1M Basic. That's $99 a month. So look around on the website, look at what we have, how do you want to learn, what's your, what is the best way for you to learn what you need to learn, what to expect from Basic, what to expect from Premium, video FAQs, description of the curriculum, the Udemy courses, etc. It's all case study based. You will learn from other people who have done it before. If you're coming to 1M in search of funding, please review the investor introduction page to understand our policies. Our philosophies: do not go to investors as beggars, go as kings. Bootstrap first, raise money later. And I'm thrilled to see both Darlington and Ratan have done a lot of bootstrap business building. So I think, this is our recommended mode of building businesses. So that's great that you're doing that. Our next roundtables are one more in October next week, and then we have 3 in November. So you're very welcome to reserve your slots. Go to the website, go to Free Public Roundtables, and reserve your slot to pitch. And that is all. We can take more questions from the panelists, the ones who have already pitched, or the audience, whatever. But we have time for Q&A. Please let me know. Yes.
So I have a question. What's the difference between this pitch and the public roundtable? What's the difference?
This is the public roundtable.
Oh, this is the public roundtable.
Yeah, the private roundtables are part of the 1M premium program. And that, this you can only do once. The public roundtables, you can come talk to me every week. And that's where all the other premium program resources are. That's a paid program. That's not a free program. Anybody else? Any other question?
Yeah. Oh, so
No.
So is it the one that investors attend?
No, investors don't attend. We send deals to investors after we work with you and make sure that your pitch and everything is ready. And if we need to do work before that, we help you do that. But once you're ready and we consider you quote unquote fundable, we will look in our investor relationships. We'll find the investors that would be relevant for you, and we will introduce you to investors directly. Investors don't attend anything.
Okay, so I don't know if I should ask the questions here or later. So what's the process like after pitching? So what's the next thing for us that want funding? We're looking for what's the next step for us?
If you're looking for funding, you'll have to join the premium program.
Okay.
And then you will start attending the private roundtables that are that's premium members only. I will work with you, get you ready, and then we'll jointly create the list of investors that we're going to target, and then make sure your pitch is ready, and then I will introduce you to those investors.
Okay, so normally how long does that take? What's the turnaround time for that?
It varies tremendously from company to company. It really depends on how much you have. I think you have quite a bit. I like where you are and what you're doing and so forth. But you are in a geography that doesn't have as much money and as many seasoned investors, but there are some, and I will be able to introduce you to some. So you should probably not take that long to start getting you introduced. It should be okay.
Pramana, I have one question. Do you also have lending partners who would like to lend the money for power plants or equity-based?
So that's why I said you should look in 1NDF, this company that Nitin Khandelwal runs. That's a fintech, that's an online thing. You can just set up your profile there and start sourcing lending partners there. That's not what we do, but Nitin does that.
Nitin Agrahari, right?
Yeah, Nitin Khandelwal.
Khandelwal, sorry.
Yeah. Maureen can give you Nitin's contact actually.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Maria is asking a question. Let me look at her question and figure out what she's asking. Thank you for the roundtable. I'm just on starting mode, no product or anything yet, just on ideas mode. Which program would you suggest for me at this stage? Maria, I would suggest for you 1M1M basic if you just want to study, learn the methodology of how to get a business going. If you want also interactive guidance from me, I would recommend that you join the 1M1M premium program. And then you can come and interact with me every week, ask me questions, etc. But in terms of starting to learn things, you can start anywhere. You can start with 1M1M basic, you can start with 1M1M premium. That includes the curriculum. And even you can start with Udemy. Udemy doesn't have everything. I think ideation stage, you'll get some. There are some courses on Udemy that we have published, how to test startup ideas and startup ideas for the post-COVID world. But all our positioning and validation courses, these are not in Udemy. So for that, you have to go to either 1M1M basic or premium. So maybe your best bet is to start with one of those two, basic or premium. Does that answer your question, Maria? You're welcome. Anybody else? All right. I think we're going to wrap up then. If you have questions about the program after this session, you can talk to Irina Patterson, irina@1mby1m.com. She's very knowledgeable and we'll be happy to talk to you by phone or WhatsApp or Skype or whatever. It's very, she's very knowledgeable and she's very patient. So you're welcome to call her if you have questions about the program.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you so much for the time and the opportunity.
You're very welcome. Both presentations were excellent, and I really enjoyed learning about what you're doing, how you're thinking about the market, and brainstorming with you. So, Ratan, if you do need help on the real estate market, as I said, at least in Calcutta, we are very, very well connected in the real estate market here.
Definitely, we can explore that market.
I live in California, but we do a lot of family stuff in the Calcutta real estate market.
Whenever you visit India, Shramana, I would love to come to Kolkata itself. And
I'm in India right now.
Oh, you are in. For how long you will be here?
I will be here for a month.
Okay, then I can plan.
Well, you need to, first and foremost, I don't do a lot of meetings like this.
Okay.
This program is a virtual accelerator. So you need to be in the 1M1M premium program, start working with me through the premium program. And then, if it makes sense to come.
Definitely, Shramana.
No?
Yeah.
Sorry, but I don't want to, I don't make people spend money unnecessarily if they don't need to spend money.
True.
Okay, sorry, the pricing for the premium program is on the website, right?
It's $1,000 annual membership fee. Yes, it's on the website. Everything you can just sign up online on the website.
Okay. Annual membership, right? Oh, okay.
Sorry? You want the membership?
No, I just had annual membership, $1,000, right?
$1,000 annual membership. That is correct, yes.
Okay.
And that is unlimited usage. You can come as many times. You can, get as much investor introductions as we can possibly, find for you, because it's, the concept of investor in entrepreneur fit is really important in fundraising. You have to find the right investors who are going to be, I mean, you're in Africa. We have to find investors who are willing to invest in Africa, not only those who are based in Africa, but there are people who are based elsewhere but are willing to invest in Africa. But there aren't that many of those. So, but there are some, and you're going to have to kind of work, we'll have to work our way to those investors.
All right. Okay, I see. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, take care, everybody. It was very good to work with you today. I'll see you next week. Bye.